It's been a long, long wait for Season 4 of The Dragon Prince, but there is reason to believe there is light on the horizon. The fourth season, which we've been waiting for over a year, might be coming out sooner than we think. There are indeed a few worried naysayers who believe it won't be released for another year or so, but I do not believe that we have evidence to support that claim. Considering how quickly they were able to release the first few seasons of the show, there is reason to believe that they will be able to finish Season 4 relatively quickly as the whole pandemic situation improves, and there is reason to believe that pandemic situation will improve relatively soon. Now, if you'll allow me to do a little bit of personal editorializing, let me say that this has been a very long wait. After 2 years of trying with very little success to build my channel, I refocused my channel on Avatar content, and for the first time in my life, it was a success. I believed that this channel would boom when the live-action Avatar series was released, but alas, that series has run into a lot of problems, facing constant delays and seeing the exit of the original showrunners of Avatar, Brian Konietzko and Michael Dante DiMartino. I was kind of afraid something like that would happen, so to hedge my bets, I went all in on The Dragon Prince when that show released its third season, and the results were quite impressive. I was overjoyed, and I was looking forward to covering the fourth season of The Dragon Prince somewhere around summer 2020. Well, about that. The Avatar live-action series might never be released, and Season 4 of The Dragon Prince has faced a lot of delays and production issues. Still, Season 4 of this show will be coming. I do not know exactly when it will be released, but it will happen eventually. I can assure you of that. As I'm writing this script in the end of November, it has been over a year since the release of Season 3. A lot has changed in that past year, a whole lot. I'm a sophomore in college now, I'm 21. I still don't really know what direction my life is taking, but I've survived this crazy pandemic so far, so that's not nothing. Also, the Dragon Prince fandom seems to be growing significantly. Before Season 3, it was more of a niche show, despite the connection to Avatar The Last Airbender through showrunner Aaron Ahas. But the show seems to have gotten a lot more popular after Season 3. It's really started to attract mainstream appeal. Reddit subscriber accounts are not the most accurate metric in the world for determining a show's popularity, but they're not useless either. They're a good measurement for determining the extent and intensity of a fandom. So I think it is worth pointing out that the Dragon Prince Reddit has completely exploded in the last year or so. Before Season 3, the subreddit had just about 20,000 subscribers. Now there are over 70,000, and it's still growing relatively quickly, even with no new Dragon Prince content. That the fandom is so active even though the last season was released so long ago demonstrates that the extent of the show's fandom and the intensity of that fandom are only increasing with time, and that can only be good news for the popularity of the show going forward. But again, how long will we have to wait? Under normal circumstances, I would say that the fourth season of the show would be released somewhere around March or April of 2021. That's the date I've stuck with ever since the show was renewed for the rest of its run back in July, and that is the date I will continue to stick with until I have hard evidence to believe otherwise. That would be about 8 or 9 months after July, after Aaron Haas announced that the show would be continued for the rest of its run, that it had been renewed. When I made that prediction at first, I thought it might have been a little bit on the pessimistic side. After all, they had been working tirelessly writing this season during lockdown. Maybe it would come out sooner than that. However, as the months go by, that prediction has stopped seeming pessimistic and started seeming a bit optimistic. There is a real chance that the show's 4th season will not be released until the middle of spring, or until summer even. Still, I do not think we should surrender completely to pessimism. Even if the show does take a little longer to release Season 4, that would only be because of the pandemic, and that pandemic might not last as long as a lot of us are fearing. I really hope this doesn't sound cheesy or cheap or saccharine, but I really do believe that the world is going to start getting at least somewhat better in the coming months. Large groups of people will be vaccinated by the end of the year, at least in my country, and by spring and certainly by summer, most people will be vaccinated. Now, I doubt the people working on the Dragon Prince, due to their ability to work remotely and they're not being in particularly high-risk groups, I doubt these people will be first in line to get the vaccine. But it will happen eventually, and once it does, production will be a much smoother process. I'm really looking forward to that. The idea that we will have to wait a whole other year, or even until late summer 2021, for Season 4 of The Dragon Prince to be released is completely unsubstantiated. There's always the possibility that that will be the case, but there's no real reason to believe that at this juncture. There is a difference between merely being skeptical and being aggressively pessimistic. Yes, it might be hard to hope. Yes, we've had to wait a long time for this season, but it will be coming sooner than I think a lot of us fear. Despite the predictions I've offered really throughout the past year regarding what Season 4 of The Dragon Prince is going to be like, I don't know for sure. I don't have all the answers. It is going to be a major step forward for the show. There is going to be a time skip of sorts. Aha says that there are 3 main parts of this show, and the 3 seasons we've watched only constitute the first part. Also, we have to deal with the fallout from the graphic novel Through the Moon, released a couple months ago, in which Rayla rushes off to look for Viren, whom she fears is still alive, and she leaves Callum behind. Callum is of course going to chase after her, but how is that going to play out? A lot is going to change in Season 4, I'm sure of that, and I can't wait for us to get there. Yes, it might be a long wait, but we don't really have to worry about that. As they always say, it's darkest before the dawn. It might seem like we've been waiting forever, and it might feel like we've been waiting forever, but it most likely will not be that much longer until the 4th season of this show is released. Again, the best date I can give you based on prior seasons is probably March or April. I'm sticking to that. There is reason for optimism, considering how long they've been working on Season 4, and considering how the end of the pandemic, at least in my country, is in sight for the first time. Hopefully, in San Diego Comic-Con and New York Comic-Con, we can gather again in large groups and chat about the Dragon Prince. Hopefully, Season 4 will have been released by then. Here's hoping. So thank you all for watching. If you liked what you saw today, don't forget to like and comment and subscribe. Donate to my Patreon if you can and you want to see more videos like this. Keep watching The Dragon Prince. It is a thoughtful, brilliant, empathetic show that is so clever and so tender, and it's only getting better with time. I can't wait to see where they go from here. It's going to be really exciting. I can assure you of that. Season 4 is going to be very powerful. I know that for sure. Anyway, tune in soon for my next analysis. It will be coming soon. Thank y'all again. Adios, comrades.